Yay! It's Mind 23. Wow. It's an amazing journey and God has brought us this far. Yes, we cannot even underestimate the grace and the grace, of God upon our lives. So we can keep saying His grace and His grace and His grace has brought us this far. And for this, we are grateful, super, super grateful for this amazing time out. Again, every quarter, we've been churning out um these episodes. We've been gathering, we've been hanging out, to share, deep experiences and to share strategies on how to mind our minds. Yes, this 23rd edition is going to be awesome as we explore gratitude. Gratitude. I know that gratitude is not just like we do on Mind the Mind. It's not like maybe there's any new subject out there in the world, but it's just like a reminder to us all to know that when we come together, it's also like a point where we reflect. Yes, it's a reflective moment where we reflect and we're able to, share, we're able to, gather in a safe space. And this space also is not judgmental. And like you already know. And I want to say again that you're welcome to Mind the Mind 23. It's the last edition for the year 2025. I'm super excited and I can't, wait for, what's to come in 2026 by God's grace. It's going to be, an amazing new year for all of us by the special grace of God. So let's just take a moment and check in the chat room. Checking in the chat room, what does gratitude mean to you? If you're joining, you're welcome. I appreciate you. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you so much. So just checking in the chat room. You can check in with your favorite emoji or just say what gratitude, means to you. Just check in quickly. I would say mine first as I let you gather your thoughts. Gratitude to me means, being exceptionally thankful, being deeply, deeply appreciative and grateful because you have to really think deep to be really grateful. Sometimes we just think, sometimes we just say, oh, thank you. Or but gratitude, has that reflective part to it where you pick out the pieces. You know that this could not have happened except XYZ, was involved, except God was involved, first of all, and except that you have received these little favors or mercies that are not even little, in their ways. So just checking in the chat room. You're welcome again. What does gratitude mean to you? What does gratitude mean to you? What does gratitude mean to you? I know that we can already see the slides as we check in. Let me see what we're saying in the chats. If there's anyone checking in, please, yes, acknowledging. That's a very good one from Paul, acknowledging that it is not being by my power. Thank you. Thank you so much. Keep checking in. And as we go through, this journey together, we would be able to, see how it all connects, at the end of the day. Thank you so much again and again for joining session in, session out. So that's the first slide. It says gratitude. Gratitude. The domino effect. Yes, gratitude, the domino effect. Let me make it a bit bold for us all to see. Gratitude, the domino effect. What does gratitude mean? And how does it give that domino effect? We're talking about, just to describe that word domino, it's like a game of a pack of cards where if one part of the card is tipped over, or if one part of the puzzle pieces is tipped over, it kind of affects every other element in that stash. Yeah, in that stash. And when you picture that domino, you know that gratitude in itself is not complete if it doesn't, have like a list of stuff that you're really, truly grateful for? No one, I say it every time, no one should be able to say, oh, I'm self-made. Even the so-called people who say that they are self-made is because at that point, a part of their brain, has shut down and forgotten that they were a product of probably a family, they were a product of teachers or lecturers or nannies or any single person. Even if you feel that you have been dumped in the dumps, yeah, you were dumped, you were picked up, someone did the picking up for you not to be left for dead. So if we really think deep, yeah, there's really no self-made person, no self-made situation. And that's what gratitude makes you do. It makes you think you can always thank someone, for something that they did, and that's it. But gratitude in itself, this is just like a reminder that we should think deeper and see that domino effect of gratitude, how you have come up for. That's why I like, that point that Paul dropped, acknowledging that he wouldn't have come this far by his power. And that's a very beautiful thing. Let's move to the next slide. The four W's of gratitude. The four W's of gratitude. Even before we move on, I am particularly grateful, having come this far with the Emotional Wellness Tribe, grateful for the journey. The last time we had, this hangout, we had it and we did like a whole book launch. And that's to remind everyone as well. If you've not bought that book, not everyone on this call has that book already. So I'm super grateful for you all. Yeah. So if you've not bought it or you've not finished reading it, just keep digging in. Okay. And you can also gift someone this season, right? Just buy one, buy 10, buy 20, buy 50, buy 100, and gift someone around you. Yeah. Just to actually show gratitude and thank them for being there. And it's also powerful because you can also gift them those strategies, those powerful strategies in that book. Okay, so that's just by the way. All right. The four W's of gratitude. In this picture, we see this lovely quote that says, gratitude changes everything. Gratitude in itself is a mindset, right? It's a perspective that is usually bigger than the person giving the gratitude. It is bigger than the person, that we may call the gratitude. If there's any word like that, gratitude is a big mindset, is a game changer. It changes every single thing. Once you can get to that gratitude mode, forget every other thing, forget the failures, forget the things that are not sorted yet, forget the things that are not done yet. On this call, I know that there may be so many things that you may want to say, it has not checked out maybe throughout this year for you, or it has not been checked in your prayer list or to-do list or career list or whatever it is. But just the fact that you're being grateful enough, yeah, changes everything. It's that mindset, that positive mindset that you carry, right? That changes everything. It is the act of being intentionally thankful and deeply so. It's not just being intentional about thanking. This week, has been kind of like a roller coaster one, a point where, sometimes I'll be like, oh, the other point I'll be like, but it's also good that when you do have, support system, people who put you in check, people who let you remember everything that you may tend to forget. And you would then start to be saying, oh Lord, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my spouse. I'm grateful for, my friends, my children, and everyone, my boss, every single person, even your clients, your customers, everyone around you. You should be deeply, deeply thankful. That's where gratitude moves. Gratitude involves thinking deeply and deliberately, seeing the good in the circumstances of things or people that you may not see from the surface or at first glance. You see that? Gratitude is not just mere, oh, I'm just thankful, just at first glance like that. No, it is deeply appreciating the fact that maybe you see a colleague at work, the person may not look really happy and may look like maybe it's someone you should not be grateful for, but that's just at first glance. Deep down, you should be grateful that they showed up, regardless of whatever it is that they're going through, regardless of whether maybe it's a paying deal or not. Still be grateful for that visibility. That's gratitude for you. And that perspective itself changes everything. So we move to the why, right? The why of gratitude in itself. Why should we be grateful? A growing body of research, it means that it's still evolving. It shows that gratitude may be one of the most powerful ways of boosting happiness, boosting joy, right? I put the link of that study there so that we can maybe check it out later from the recording. It talks about, from the National Institute of Health, that they have found out that our hypothalamus, that's the part of our brain that regulates several bodily functions, is activated when we feel gratitude or are kind to others. This means essentially gratitude helps our minds, helps us to function properly, helps us to function properly. So when you see people who are not grateful, who are just perpetually, ungrateful, you have to come to them from a place of empathy, because really it may not be them. It may be that their hypothalamus has refused to function well, and they need, some form of reset. They may need some form of, shaking up to see what they are missing. The fact that that gratitude does not show every time, it means that somehow something is missing and is not making them to function properly. So when we feel grateful, when we are grateful, we're also rewarded with a hit of dopamine. Dopamine is, one of the, let me put it loosely, one of the feel good hormones in our bodies. Is like one of the happy hormones, one of the happy chemicals in our body, in our brains. Yeah. And so he hits us with a dose of dopamine, and he encourages us to keep being grateful again and again. So once you start, it's easy to keep the habit up. It's easy to keep gratitude going once you start. And even when you tend to be somehow or somewhat ungrateful, you can catch yourself, because we're all human. Sometimes it feels like the things that we complain about, the things that we say that we don't see yet, makes us in that instant feel ungrateful or sound to people listening to us like though we're ungrateful. We can begin to say stories and stories, experiences about, how when you listen to some stories, some events that we cannot begin to share here, when you listen to, people's experiences, you would thank God within yourself and be grateful for that gift that you have. And that's why we have to be grateful. We have to be grateful because the chemicals in our brain is still working, right? Remember, we're talking about the four W's of gratitude. We've talked about the why. That's the first one. And you may have your own why. That why we talked about, the fact that when you're grateful, it means that your body, your brain, and all parts of your system is functioning well. It doesn't mean that, maybe things are happening for you physically so well. No. Gratitude is beyond what is happening at the moment. Things may not be happening the way you want it, but the act of being grateful itself helps you know that more greater things will happen. And so we've talked about the why. Your own why can be something else. Just share in the chat room. why you think you have to be grateful. As we go on, feel free to drop messages in the chat. Feel free to share with us what is your why, your own real why you should be grateful. As we go on, just drop your why. Think about it deeply. Why are you grateful? Are you grateful because you just feel like you should be? Yeah? Are you grateful because you have, health or good health, or you have your family, or you have, some resources, or what it is that you're grateful for? Whatever it is that is your why, it is valid as long as it is gratitude. And our gratitude, I can say it anywhere, first should go to God, our creator, and then it can cascade down, have that domino effect on every other thing, every human being around you, every of your relationships, everyone, that you're grateful for, right? The when, that's the second W. Someone has dropped a message in the chat. Thank you. Thank you, Fumi. It relieves me from stress. Yes, that's a good one. From stress and worrying. Yes, thank you for sharing. It's what gratitude does. When we begin to, be grateful, it just takes off the stress to know that whatever it is that is not done, let it just be undone while you're still grateful. You may then be grateful and then find out that it eventually gets done. Voila. But the truth is, it relieves you of stress and worrying. I agree with that totally. Thank you so much for sharing. The when. It's the attitude of gratitude we're discussing this morning. Gratitude is not only given when you're happy, right? As we mentioned before, as you already know, when you're happy or joyful, it can be given even during deeply and unsettling times. There may be unsettling times in the world right now, globally, wherever you are. Gratitude, even in the unsettling times, when should you be grateful? The when is right at the point where you are. Whenever you remember, whenever you can think of, at that very spot, you don't postpone your gratitude, right? You can postpone your thanks or your appreciation, but you don't postpone gratitude. You can postpone your thanks maybe until a promise comes to pass, until maybe someone decides to say, when the person says, oh, I'm going to give you X, Y, and Z. There's another point in the chat, which is also great. It helps to have an accurate estimation of myself. Thank you so much for sharing that, right? And that's good when you're grateful. It just helps you to know that who are you in the first place to be thinking that you deserve that. And so you have that correct estimation of yourself. Thank you so much for sharing. And then it keeps you humble in your mind. Yes, when you're grateful, it brings out all the positive energy, brings out every good thing, every good habit and character in you. I love that. Thank you so much. Keep sharing, keep sharing. We're talking about the when of gratitude. The when should not only be when you're happy, when you're joyful, it should even be given during unsettling times. Gratitude shows maturity and helps build mental and emotional resilience. That's it builds your mental power. Gratitude is something that most times we underestimate. The mere fact that you're able to voice out your gratitude. We don't know what it does to our mental prowess. It just increases that resilience. It lets you know that, yes, you can go on. It lets you know that whatever it is that comes your way, you can take it on. It lets you say that, yeah, bring it on, bring it on. You can take it on. It lets you do stuff that you do not even think you may be capable of. Positive things. Yeah? Gratitude builds your mental and emotional resilience. It builds that. And if sincerely giving, that's when he builds it. If you're not giving it sincerely, maybe you're just paying lip service to gratitude. You may not get the full benefits of what gratitude does to you. Remember when we started that gratitude is more than just paying lip service, is more than just the words, is a whole attitude in itself. It's a whole attitude. It comes from the family of perspectives, family of attitudes. Yeah. So that's why it has that attitude, around it. It's not just something that you pick. That is not something that you just pick up randomly. It has to be there, deep down seated in you. Okay. And gratitude puts you in that position of deeply appreciating. I'm just, reading some points from the notes that I put here. Gratitude puts you in a position of deeply appreciating the help someone has rendered to you, right? And gratitude and gloom. This is a big one. Gratitude and gloom. They start with G and G, yeah? They cannot coexist for long. While gratitude is a positive emotion, gloom is not. So, positive emotions have a higher tendency to dispel the negative emotion if properly fueled. So, you've got gloom on one side and you've got gratitude. You've got gratitude. There's nowhere gratitude and gloom can coexist for long. Yeah, there may be gloom lurking around the corner. And, by gloom, I'm talking about, just that feeling of unhappiness. Maybe there's one sorrow somewhere. Maybe there's one pain somewhere. Maybe there's one grief somewhere. Maybe there's something that is not making you happy. That's gloomy, right? That's a gloomy situation. And this is not to invalidate anyone going through anything. No. If you're going through any form of grief, any loss, any pain, we see you and our hearts goes out to you. But we're just reminding you to also embrace gratitude at this time. Okay? Embrace gratitude, even in that season of gloom. And because gratitude is a more positive emotion, right? It has that tendency to dispel that darkness, that gloomy feeling. It has that tendency to dispel it, right? So just embrace gratitude in that feeling of gloom, in that situation that you're in, right? Just embrace it and know that you're not alone. As humans, we all go through a lot. Everyone on this call, can testify that you may even be coming from a lot yourself, or going through a lot, or currently in a lot, right? Someone just sent another powerful thing in the chat room. Yes, Wale, thank you. Gratitude is deep and should be intentional, not on the surface. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, it's deeper and it's deeper and deeper. We can keep drawing from the well of gratitude. Keep drawing from it. The more you reflect, the more you see the depth of gratitude. Thank you so much for sharing that powerful thought, right? Positive emotions has that power to dispel negative ones quickly. You'll be surprised how fast gratitude can dispel gloom at every point in time. And this goes to also remind us, surround yourself with people who are grateful, who are truly grateful. Don't surround yourself, even if you're going through a lot, coming from a lot, already in a lot, right? Surround yourself with grateful people. Grateful people, they are also real people. They acknowledge the fact that they may be going through XYZ at the moment, but they are grateful. And so they don't wallow in that situation because that gratitude, it can also have that. Remember where we were coming from, the domino effect. It has a rub-on effect on everything around you. If you decide to be ungrateful for one thing, there's a way it can rub off, you know, on all the other things around you and make you see them as not something to be grateful for. But when you are grateful, you have that domino, it has that domino effect on every aspect of your life. And you will see more happening for you by the grace of God. So we've talked about the why. That's the first W. We've talked about the when. Let's look quickly at the where of gratitude. Does gratitude even have a place? Does it have a home? Does he have a house? Does he have an abode? Gratitude should begin every day in your heart. It should begin every day, every point, every minute, per second, per minute. It should be living rent free in your heart. That's the way of gratitude. It's an emotion that can be expressed anywhere. You're driving is there. Your washing is there. Your bathing is there. Your cooking is there. You're doing any form of work is there. Even if you're operating heavy machinery, it's not like some, therapy measures that we say, oh, don't do it when you're operating heavy machineries or don't do it when you're driving. No, gratitude in itself is therapeutic. And the beauty about this gratitude is that you can do it, you can be grateful anywhere, anywhere, anywhere. Gratitude should be given or expressed anywhere. And that's some good news. You don't need to be confined in a place to be truly grateful. No, you don't need to gather maybe in a place first and say, fine, people have, you have Thanksgiving dinners, you have Thanksgiving seasons, you have different reasons. Okay, you've got church where people, you're encouraged to say, oh, be grateful. You've got gatherings of, your friends, your families everywhere. Yeah, it's good. But ideally, it should be given everywhere. It makes the job of the next human easy. Imagine if you're carrying gratitude and there's someone around you that has so much gloom. You tend to rub off positively on that person, and then the effect goes on and on and on. Gratitude in itself makes the world a better place for everyone. It just happens from your heart. That's where its abode should be, the way of gratitude. It is very important to know that true gratitude has no lids or limits. It does not have a container and say, fine, we have gratitude jars as part of our therapeutic measures. Just to remind us. And that's a quick exercise. It may be a reminder for someone to say, I want to start the next year with, with a gratitude jar. That's a therapy. With a gratitude jar, you can begin to drop little pieces of paper, right, in that jar every day, every moment, every time you remember to be grateful. So it's a therapeutic exercise to remind us to say, be grateful. And then at the end of the week, at the end of the month, at the end of the year, whenever you want to open that jar, or you can even leave it open whenever you want to decide to check through it, and as you're reading those little pieces of notes, you will be reminded to be grateful. That's the essence of that therapy. But it is not to say that your gratitude should live in that jar. No, it does not have a lid. Gratitude itself does not have a lid. It does not have any limit. It does not have limitation. Once you start, gratitude now water, let me put it that way. It flows like a river, right? As we say in our local parlance, gratitude flows. It does not have any limit. It's like a river with no limits, with no bounds. It flows. It flows like a river in your soul. Yeah. And I'm sure that at this point you're starting to remember scriptures. You're starting to remember quote. You're starting to remember things that you're grateful for. Gratitude is supposed to be a river in your soul if you let it. I'm putting that disclaimer if you let it, so that you won't think, oh, it will just. No, you have to let it flow. You have to let it. If you decide to put a lid on it yourself, then you need help, right? And when you do need help, feel free to acknowledge that, oh, I'm actually ungrateful at this point. And you can pick up from where you stopped so that you're not, you don't judge yourself. Like we say here in the Emotional Awareness Tribe, it's a no judgment zone. It's just us reminding and sharing about all of these things, right? It doesn't mean that sometimes we're not ungrateful, but when we remember, pick yourself up at that time. and begin to flow in that gratitude, right? We've talked about, the W's of gratitude. We've talked about the what gratitude is. We've talked about the why. We've talked about the when. We've talked about the where, right? When you think about these four W's of gratitude, nothing would be hard. Nothing would be seemingly hard, or unsurmountable in your way. Because remember when we mentioned, the what of gratitude, the way of gratitude, which says it increases your mental power. You'll be able to think more, think deeply. You may even have more ideas about that business, more ideas about how to go about that proposal, more ideas about how to improve that relationship with other people around you, more ideas on how to just do things in life to be successful. That's what gratitude does. Let's move to the gratitude benefits while keeping in mind those four W's of gratitude. The what, you have to define it, what gratitude is and what gratitude is not, the where of gratitude, the why, and the when. When you keep, ruminating about these things, keep chewing on them, you would see that in the end, you even have much more things to be grateful for than you think you do. So the benefits of gratitude are very numerous. I know that we've shared, a bit about them, but feel free to put it in the chat. What benefits do you think gratitude has? What benefit do you think it has? Feel free to share in the chat room. Feel free to share. We're just diving deeper into some of the benefits of practicing gratitude before we start to share different ways that you can start your own practice of gratitude and start reaping the rewards. I put a few benefits here while we're checking the chat room. Just feel free to share. Few benefits of gratitude. It makes you happy. It reduces stress, as we've shared earlier. I'll just run quickly over them. It reduces stress. It improves your self-esteem. It improves your self-confidence. It lets you know that there's more. You can take on the world. It boosts your emotional and mental resilience. We've mentioned that earlier. It improves sleep and your physical health. When you're grateful, you know that you're going to have improved physical health. Someone has dropped, a comment in the chat. Let's read that quickly. Gratitude gives me joy from deep within and gives me boldness. Yes, that's it. That's it. Thank you, Sister Margaret, for sharing. Gratitude does a lot. It just gives you that boost, gives you that boldness to know that you can do stuff, right? That you think may not be possible. It may just be in that gratitude moment that you remember the steps to take in doing all the things that you thought were impossible. Yes, gratitude improves sleep, improves your physical health. It does. It does. And it improves our relationships. It could be social relationships. It could be amorous relationships. It could be, relationships with your family, relationships, with even relationships around you, with your children, with your spouse, with your friends, with your colleagues at work. Gratitude just improves your relationships, whether social relationships, whether romantic ones, whether any familiar relationships. Gratitude just improves it. Gratitude improves it. It helps to manage our resources. We know in this world, if you've not known before or you've not remembered, know that when we say resources in the emotional wellness tribe, we're not talking about just physical or financial resources here because we value ourselves. We're talking about human resources. Human resources. There's one thing that my husband always says. He used to say it and he used to pray it. He would say, may we not lack the men, the means, and the method. Those three M's, they are resources that are powerful. When you look at it, you want to do something somewhere in the world and you're not there. you really want to do it, it would just be solved if you had the men that will help you sort it out. It will be sorted faster if you had the means. It will be sorted if you had the method on how to do it, right? So it just gives you, that strength, and it helps us to manage our resources, either people resources, human resource, or material resources, right? It gives more perspective and meaning to life and work. That's what gratitude does. And it does much more. The list is endless. You can start thinking about what gratitude has done for you. What has it done for you? Even as a child towards your parents, has it, increased the blessing and the prayers that your parents, put upon your head when you're grateful for them every time. And gratitude is not stagnant. We mentioned that earlier. Gratitude flows. Gratitude is in the same, boat as doing stuff. Gratitude is more active, is an action thing. So gratitude, you cannot be grateful with your mouth alone sometimes. Your action should follow. The gifts should follow. When you say you're grateful for your parents, you're grateful for your loved ones, be truly grateful, not just in words, but in deeds. And that in turn evokes small blessings. It may just be a simple God bless you because you help someone remember the appointment. You help someone, just to remember that today is MindTheMind. You just to remember someone, sending them a book, sending them a gift, sending them a text, sending them prayers, in gratitude for them. And in return, even if it's not coming from them, be assured that it's coming back to you, pressed down, shaking together, and running over. Gratitude is a gift. And so one of the numerous benefits is that it comes back to you, even in ways that you don't think about, right? In ways that you don't think about, in ways that you don't even know that you will get it back. So this is just a little exercise for all of us. You can start doing it from now. If you've been doing it before, don't stop. If you've not been doing it before, start from now. Inculcate it in your attitude, in your daily life, every minute, every second. Remember the way of gratitude, or the when as well. It has no time limit. It can be given everywhere and anywhere. Gratitude exercises can be practiced through journaling. You can start to keep a journal, say from now till next year, or say even from beginning of next year. Put it as your part of your to-do list. You can journal in gratitude, and every day you put it there, what you're grateful for. Every minute, what you're grateful for. At the end of the day, you can write out 3 things, write out 10 things, as much as your heart can permit, as long and as much as your time can permit. It may be one thing every day that you're grateful for in your journal. Just put it there. You'll be surprised that at the end of 365 days, you'll be surprised how much of gratitude. And you'll be surprised that, the little things that you think you should not be grateful for in the first place. It can come through affirmation, gratitude exercises. You can affirm right and say that I am grateful for XYZ. I'm grateful for my parents. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for the opportunity to do this. I'm grateful for my career, for my job. And then you put it together into positive words of affirmations. I'm grateful that I can walk. I'm grateful that I can talk. I'm grateful that I can breathe. I'm grateful that I can eat. I'm grateful that I can, even if you're fasting, I'm grateful that you can, right? I'm grateful. Someone shared something during the week. I can't remember who. Maybe it was a comedian or someone, but I heard it clearly. And it says that even if you're hungry, the fact that your body system is still working for you to know that you're hungry. You know that some people cannot stop eating. their mouth must keep going. And that's a disorder. And some people have it on the opposite. Nothing must stay in their mouth. They may be new by mouth, right? As we put it. But the truth of the matter is the fact that you are hungry, you don't have food to eat at that instance. The fact that you can feel hunger pangs, it means that there's something to be grateful for. When you think deeply and you switch the meanings of these things, you would know that gratitude is deeper, way deeper, right, than just mere words. Gratitude, you can put it in exercises as affirmations, as you can act it out and show it. Act it out and show it, right? Act it out and show it. When you show gratitude, even when you're not feeling like it eventually comes to be. There have been testimonies, there have been so many areas of your life that things may not be working at the moment. But when you begin to show gratitude, make it a daily routine. We've talked about writing down things you're grateful for, make it a daily routine, a monthly routine, a yearly routine. The more you write, the more it flows, and you'll be more grateful for your process and your journey. There are psychological strategies that may enhance these feelings of gratitude as also part of gratitude exercises. We've talked about the journaling, about things for which you'll be grateful. We've talked about thinking about someone for whom you are grateful, writing and sending a letter. Don't be stingy and say, oh, I'll text them on their birthday. Something 1 year before you remember somebody. No, don't do that. You can make it every month. You can make it every week. You can make it every quarter. And then you find out that you become better in checking up on people, being grateful, meditating on gratitude, being present in the moment. Just keep your mind, clear of any rumble, any thought, whatever it is that is creating doubt or whatever it is that is creating chaos and noise. And be aware in the moment. That's what meditation does for you. When you're not picking phones, when you're not thinking about me, you don't say you're in gratitude and you're sitting in a place and you say you want to be grateful, you want to do gratitude meditation for 30 minutes. Out of the 30 minutes, you have used 25 minutes to think about the war in so place. You have talked about the economy, you have seen social media, you have talked about all the trending subjects. No, when you are deeply meditating in gratitude as an exercise, let your mind be clear. Even if you want to have errant, thoughts that wants to come in like that, you can activate that thought, put it on hold and say, this is our time of gratitude. And the more you think about those things, the more you're able to meditate on gratitude, undertaking the count your blessings exercise. We don't say it enough, right? Count your blessing. It's not a cliche. It's not. It's not a cliche. It's not a cliche. Maybe even though we are so used to it and they say count your blessings. Now you have even forgotten how to count it. Count your blessings. Some people don't even know how to count anymore. Practice saying thank you sincerely and meaningfully, right? Writing thank you notes, sticky notes. If you're in a place where maybe you and your spouse, you go out, at different times of the day, maybe as you are going, the person he is coming or she is coming, put post-it notes. You may put it on their Bible, put it on their books, put it on their daily to-do lists, just to say you're grateful. Even as your children are going to school, put it somewhere they can see it, that you're grateful for them. You don't wait until Children's Day or Father's Day or Mother's Day or Parents' Day. I don't know what other days that is done now, right? But don't wait, okay? Write simple thank you notes and you pray about it. If you find out that your hypothalamus is not working well, right? You can pray about it to say, why is it that I'm not able to be grateful deeply? Pray about it. Pray. Pray about it. You can pray about it. Yes. Pray about the grace to be more grateful. You can pray about it. Remember the domino effect we talked about in the beginning. Practicing gratitude should be a per second thing again, basically on the go. One cannot be over grateful for the blessings received from God, but you can be short of a grateful spirit if you're not intentional about the basics of gratitude. There's nothing like being over grateful, being over thankful. No, but you rather be underdoing it. Gratitude makes other positive emotions, invokes other positive emotions. That's the domino effect. Look carefully at this picture. Yeah, that's a picture of of domino pieces, right? When one falls and it rests, on the other ones throughout that domino line, every one of them will be falling in place like that. That's what gratitude does. As you're thinking on one, you're remembering the other, you're thinking on one, you're remembering the other, and then things begin to fall in place. Positive emotions begin to invoke themselves, right? And they begin to come to you more easily and more naturally. When you think about it, let this domino picture, let it be in your head. Let it be living there rent-free, right? I'll put this slide on for a minute, for much more, right, than a minute. Let this domino effect, let it be in your heart. Let it stay grounded as you think about the what of gratitude, the when, the why, the where, and every other thing in between. And like we say, everything we've shared here, there's still more. It's not like this is all there is to know. No, the subject of gratitude is inconclusive. There can never be an end to it. You just think deeply, and you will find out that you will be able to think more wholesomely and more holistically. Again, in the chat room, please share freely your reasons for being grateful. Your reasons for being grateful as we conclude for what you're grateful for this year. It is December and it's the 13th day of December 2025. So many things may not have checked, on in your checkbox, on your prayer list or on your list. But this year, what are you grateful for? Zig Ziglar once said that gratitude is the healthiest of all human emotions. The more you express gratitude for what you have, the more likely you will have even more to express gratitude for. And that cannot be any truer, right? When joy and prayer are married, their firstborn child is gratitude. That's by the prayer machine, Charles Spurgeon, right? All of these quotes, they're not just, for you to feel good about them. No. When joy and prayer are married, their firstborn child is gratitude, grateful for answered prayers and those yet to be answered. Be grateful for family. That's my own list. I don't know what your list is. I am super grateful for answered prayers, even for those that are yet to be answered. I'm grateful for them, for the grace to be able to lay them in prayer even while waiting for their answers. I am grateful for family and friends. At that point, wherever you are, you can begin to say yours, right? That you're grateful for XYZ, you're grateful, whatever it is you're grateful for, right? I am grateful for answered prayers and those yet to be answered. I am grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my friends. I don't know if you're saying yours. I'm grateful for the not so friendly ones, even the unfriendly friends. I'm still grateful for them because they keep me on my toes. I am grateful for my friends and my families, and even the ones that are looking like the Grinch, right? I am still grateful for them, right? I'm grateful for my acquaintances. Olurunke is grateful for provision, both materially, both spiritually, and in every aspect. I am grateful. I don't know if you are that grateful as well. I am grateful for my pain because it builds my resilience. I am grateful for my pain. If you're not grateful for your pain, maybe you've not thought about it. Pain is a resource in its own. It's a gift. It's a gift for you to be able to feel pain. It's a gift. First off, it makes you human. It lets you have a correct estimation about yourself to know that you are just human, as shared earlier by Paul. So, pain is a gift because it builds resilience in you. I am grateful for my pain. I'm grateful for the situations around me. I am grateful for the disappointments for this year, right? I don't know if you're grateful. This is an action point, action time for every one of us. Start to be grateful for, I'm grateful for the disappointments because they make my faith stronger. I am grateful for the love that I've given and the love that I have received. Some people know how to give love, but they don't know how to receive it. Me, I am grateful that I know how to both give and to receive. So if that may be you, if you're in that WhatsApp group, or people who just give, and when people want to give back to you, you're like, oh, no, no, no. That's not humility. Oh. That's not humility. I'm not saying you should start, collecting and collecting. No. But the point is, you should be discerning enough to know when to receive. And as much as when you're discerning to know when to give, also be discerning to know when to receive. Don't go receive what will then hook you. No. But be grateful enough to be and be discerning enough to know when to give. As much as you know when to give, also be grateful for the grace to be able to receive. So that may be a word for someone who has been giving and giving and not learned to receive. Be grateful that this year and in the years to come, you would find more grace to be able to receive more, right? I am grateful for the love that I've given and for the love that I've received. I am grateful for the very gift of life. That's your gratitude affirmation that we're going through as well, right? As you're going through mine, also create yours or be grateful together, right? Like that. I am grateful for the love that I've given and received. We've mentioned that. I am grateful for the very gift of life. I am grateful for healthy relationships. I am grateful for peace. For peace. I am grateful for freedom. I am grateful for hope. I am grateful for joy. I am grateful for you. Yes, you. Every single person on this call and every entity you represent, every single one of you, every single member of the Emotional Wellness Tribe, I am grateful for everyone. I am grateful for this time out with you. I am super, super grateful. And the list is endless. The list is endless. You can create your own gratitude affirmation, create your own gratitude list, and just keep being grateful for all those things. The list is endless. You can put on it, you're grateful for your spouse, you're grateful for your spouses to be, you're grateful for your children, you're grateful for your children to be, you're grateful for your jobs, you're grateful for your job to be. Every single thing that you have and the ones that you're yet to have, we should be grateful for them. We should be grateful for them. And so, in conclusion, I want us to take these words and run with them. This is not just another Mind edition, right? Even though it's the 23rd edition, which I'm personally grateful for, but I'm grateful because we are all making it happen. But as we go in this might, be grateful, stay grateful, and remain grateful even to everyone around you, first to yourself, because most times you can't be deceiving others. When you're grateful, when you're not grateful within you, you cannot be grateful without. You have to be grateful first within, then without. First within, then without. Once you're grateful, it will show. Once you're grateful, it will show. Remember that gratitude and gloom does not stay in the same boat. They don't cohabit for long, right? The positive energy of gratitude would dispel the negative one of gloom and sorrow. So I'll leave you with these words, right? As we round up, to say, I am grateful for you and I am grateful for the end of 2025. I am super grateful for you. Thank you, everyone, for being there. Thank you, everyone, for everyone who has bought the Mind the Mind book as well. I'm grateful for you. And for those that are still on this call and have not bought the book, or you have bought the book and you have not read it, yeah, I'm still grateful for you. But we still have copies because it's still selling fast, right? Reach out to me. I'll send you the link to purchase yours, right? And you'll be able to get the emotional strategies, more emotional strategies, for that harmony in life and work that we all need. Thank you, everyone. It's been an amazing time and it's been an amazing journey with you all. I am super, super grateful. I'm grateful to our sponsors, ABCD Education Services. I'm grateful to Dr. Mo Studios helping us churn out our flyers, quarter in, quarter out. I'm grateful for every member of the Emotional Awareness Tribe. I'm grateful for every member of this family. I'm grateful, 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 grateful for all of you. Thank you so much for joining. Have an amazing Yuletide season. Have an amazing Christmas and New Year celebrations. And have a wonderful New Year. Bye. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, gratitude gives me joy. Just reading up some chat gives me joy from within and gives me boldness. I'm grateful for relationship. Yes. Awesome. God bless. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, personality. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll stop sharing now. Thank you so much for joining. Great, super grateful for everyone. God bless you. Have a wonderful 2026 ahead. Bye. Stop the recording now.